So this class is about the chapter 6. Okay, so chapter 4 and 5 you have in your exam. I give questions, and this chapter is chapter 6, that is what is an empire. Okay, so first of all you have to know what is an empire. So empire means a huge territory. It is written here, you can see that empire means a huge territory. Okay, so there are few thousands of people in a kingdom, then an empire will be formed with some few lakhs of people. So a large territorial unit which is formed by many kingdoms, that huge area is known as empire. So what is empire? So it's a large territorial unit formed by many kingdoms, that area is known as empire. Now a person who rules over an empire is an emperor. So the person who rules over the empire is known as emperor. Now that huge area is called empire, and the person who rules over an empire is known as emperor. Okay, that person is called emperor. Emperor means the big king, the king who rules over many subjects, and a huge territory is an empire. So what do you mean by empire and emperor? You understand now. Now the king of the kings, that is Raja Dhiraj. Okay, so the king of the kings is called Raja Dhiraj. Now the empire is formed with out of the wars. When wars occur, then at that time huge area occupied by the king, and that area is called empire. Now one king defeating the other king in battle. Okay, so when and one king defeating the other kings in battle, then that vast realm is formed by merging all the kingdoms. So we know that in a war, when one king defeat other king, then a vast area was captured by the king, a vast kingdom, and that kingdom or area is called empire. Okay, now the victorious king organized sacrifice, and the king was given a title. So these things you have to know about emperor, about empire, what is empire and what is emperor. Okay, so these things you'll read from this portion. Now how was the first empire of Indian subcontinent formed? So we know about 16 Mahajanapadas, or about those kingdoms. So the most important kingdom that succeeded at that time is Magadha, that we also know. Now the king of Magadha conquered those all 16 kingdoms, and the first empire of India was formed in that Magadha. This was called Maurya Empire. Understand? So the first empire which was formed in Magadha, and that area is known as Maurya Empire. তাহলে ফার্স্ট এম্পায়ারকে না, ফার্স্ট এম্পায়ার হচ্ছে মাঘাদা, যেটাকে আমরা মৌর্য এম্পায়ার বলে থাকি। ওকে, so in the next page, now in the next page you can see that uh, you can see about Megasthenes. Uh, so who was Megasthenes? So around 300 BC, Alexander, the ruler of Macedonia in Greece. Okay, it is written that who was Alexander, or Megasthenes means the Alexander who ruled over Macedonia in Greece. Okay, at the in Hindu Kush mountains. Then he entered the Hindu Kush mountains of the Indian subcontinent. Understand? He was originated in warfare. So Alexander was the person who invaded India through Hindu Kush mountains. Okay, Alexander was a Greek person who entered India through Hindu Kush mountains. Now he engaged in warfare. Okay, with many other small and big rulers. So Megasthenes engaged after কামিং টু ইন্ডিয়া এনগেজ ইন ওয়ারফেয়ার যুদ্ধক্ষেত্রে যোগ দিয়েছিল, অনেক স্মল বা বিগ কিংডমসদেরকে নিয়ে যোগ দিয়েছিল। সো অ্যাট দ্যাট টাইম দেয়ার ওয়াজ ওয়ার উইথ এল্ডার পোরাস অলসো, এল্ডার পোরাস, কিং পোরাস কে ছিলেন? কিং পোরাস ঝিলাম অ্যান্ড চেনাব রিভারের ওখানে থাকতেন। সো Alexander with his huge army have a war with Elder Porus. Okay, Elder Porus. Now, however, he eventually lost the war. সে ultimately ওয়ারটা জিততে পারেনি। The Greeks did pay respect to his valor. ওয়ারটা জিততে পারেনি, তাতেও গ্রিক্সরা তারা রেসপেক্ট দেয়। Greeks used to give respect to them. So you who was Megasthenes, you understand that Megasthenes কে আমি বুঝতে পারলেন নিশ্চয়ই, আমি এখান থেকে বলে দিলাম। Megasthenes or Alexander. Now Alexander has renamed in the subcontinent to that year, okay, and he reformed his another army in the Indian. Then when he returned to Greece, তখন আবার গ্রিসে ফিরে গেল, ও আবার নিজের আর্মি তৈরি করলো, and there he died in Babylon. Okay, so in the Indian subcontinent Alexander progressed. Okay, Alexander এগিয়ে গেছিল। He did advance towards গঙ্গার দিকে তিনি এগিয়ে গেছিলেন ইন্ডিয়ান সাবকন্টিনেন্টে। However, to Alexander the power of small kingdoms was decreased. যদিও আলেকজান্ডার পারেনি স্মল কিংডমসদেরকে হারাতে, তার কাছে পাওয়ার ছিল না, বাট হি ট্রাইড, সে চেষ্টা করেছিল, ঠিক আছে। As a result, it was easier as Alexander did not able to capture the small kingdoms. So at that time, Chandragupta Maurya is a king who came to build empire in that area, Indian subcontinent. Chandragupta Maurya, he came around 320 BC, okay, and he established his empire there in the northwestern region of Punjab. So now you have to know about who was Chandragupta Maurya and how he invaded Magadha at the time of Alexander. যেহেতু আলেকজান্ডার ইন্ডিয়াতে ইনভেড করতে পারেনি বা ক্যাপচার করতে পারেনি যে কোনো কারণেই, সে কারণে মাগাধা ক্যাপচার করেছিলেন চন্দ্রগুপ্ত মৌর্য। তিনি একজন রাজা ছিলেন, নন্দা কিংসের রাজা ছিলেন। He was a scholar of Chanakya who had attracted with the Nanda kings. So চন্দ্রগুপ্ত ছিলেন তো নন্দ কিংসদের মধ্যে একজন রাজা, চাণক্যদের মধ্যে ছিলেন, এবং উনি ইন্ডিয়ান সাবকন্টিনেন্টকে ক্যাপচার আস্তে আস্তে তিনি ক্যাপচার করেছিলেন। ওকে, সো চন্দ্রগুপ্ত মৌর্য কিভাবে ক্যাপচার করেছিল, so I will read you in the next video. You should read that how Chandragupta Maurya captured Magadha, what were the battle fought between Chandragupta Maurya when he entered or his empire at Magadha. Okay, so you should read these things, that how Chandragupta, who was Chandragupta Maurya, how he fought war, কিভাবে সে যুদ্ধে জিতেছিল, how he captured Indian subcontinent at the time of Alexander. So these things you will read, okay, the Chandragupta Maurya, the point, and the Alexander invention, how Alexander invaded India, this point you will also read, and what is empire. So these things you have to read. Now in the next class I told you about another class I will give about Chandragupta Maurya. So for today it is enough.